Chosen one, have you ever felt a pull deep within you? A quiet whisper of something greater, something you were born to do. It's as though your very soul knows there's a grand purpose just waiting to be fulfilled. You might not fully understand it yet, but the sense of it lingers. It often seems elusive, just out of reach, but it's there, hidden within you, quietly waiting for you to awaken to it. For some, this call to a higher purpose comes with a sense of urgency, a deep knowing that they were meant for something more. For others, it feels like a quiet, persistent stirring, almost as if the universe is conspiring to reveal the path that has always been theirs. What if I told you that the divine purpose that calls to you today has actually been with you your whole life? What if the very signs of your greater calling were embedded within your childhood long before you were able to recognize them? From the moment you were born, there were whispers, moments, and events that were setting the stage for what you are destined to do. These signs may have seemed small at the time, perhaps even insignificant, but in truth, they were pieces of a divine puzzle scattered throughout your journey, waiting for the right moment to click into place. We often look at our past, particularly our childhood, as a time of innocence, playfulness, and discovery. And while all of that is true, it is also the time when many chosen ones first begin to show signs of their divine purpose. Your childhood, whether filled with bliss or struggle, was never just a time of random events. Every moment, every feeling, every encounter was shaping you, preparing you for the destiny that lies ahead. There were seeds planted in your spirit, tiny sparks of light that have been growing with you, waiting for the moment when they would shine brightly enough for you to recognize them. Today, we're going to explore how these early signs and experiences in your life, from your childhood dreams to the deep passions that emerged when you were young, were not mere happenstance. They were divine whispers guiding you, clues from the universe, and markers on the road that was set before you. You see, when you are a chosen one, the universe doesn't wait until adulthood to show you the way. The signs start young, often in ways that seem too subtle to notice. But these signs are essential, and they tell a story that points toward your divine calling. Now let's dive deeper into the concept of chosen ones. What does it mean to be a chosen one? Simply put, it means you have a divine purpose, a calling that goes beyond ordinary human expectations. It's not just about living a good life, having a job, or following the typical path society lays before you. It's about fulfilling a higher mission, one that is uniquely yours and intricately tied to the very fabric of the universe. Chosen ones are those who have been called to rise above the ordinary, to serve in a way that makes a profound impact, and to be a beacon of light for others. There's a common misconception that being a chosen one means having a life of fame, wealth, or grandeur. But the truth is, a chosen one's journey is often one of deep inner work, self-discovery, and alignment with divine purpose. Your calling may not be the same as someone else's, but it is uniquely designed for you, and it carries with it an undeniable power and sense of responsibility. The chosen ones are the ones who will step forward when the world needs them most, who will embrace their calling with courage, and who will serve as instruments of transformation in ways that only they can. As we explore this, you may recognize yourself in the traits of a chosen one. The deep sense of purpose, the pull to do something greater than yourself, and the feeling that you've been guided by forces beyond your understanding. Perhaps like many chosen ones, You've experienced moments of doubt, confusion, or uncertainty, wondering if you are truly on the path you were meant to walk. But here's the beauty of being a chosen one. Your journey is never random. It's divinely orchestrated. And as you look back on your childhood, you will see the early signs that revealed your calling even before you understood what they meant. You might have noticed as a child that you felt different, like you were here for a purpose greater than playing, learning, or growing up. Maybe you had dreams that didn't make sense at the time, but felt incredibly real. Or perhaps you gravitated towards certain activities, people, or places, feeling inexplicably drawn to them. These early experiences were not coincidences. They were divine markers carefully placed on your path to help guide you toward your greater purpose. This message today is not just about exploring the concept of chosen ones, it is also about helping you recognize the signs in your own life, especially those from your childhood that reveal your divine purpose. The divine has been speaking to you all along, but now as you awaken to the truth of who you are, it's time to pay attention to the messages you may have overlooked in the past. The time for self-discovery is now. When we look back at our childhood, we often see a time of innocence and wonder. It's easy to dismiss the experiences we had as merely part of growing up. But what if I told you that the things you were drawn to as a child, whether they were hobbies, dreams, or even challenges, were not random? What if these were signs carefully placed by the divine, pointing you in the direction of your purpose? This message aims to help you look at your past with new eyes, to understand the divine significance of what you experienced as a child, and to recognize the purpose that was quietly unfolding within you all along. As we go through this, I invite you to reflect on your own childhood, your earliest memories, your passions, and even the obstacles you faced. What are the signs that have been with you since the beginning? The signs that you might have ignored or misunderstood. The truth is, these signs are pieces of a divine puzzle, and when you align yourself with them, you begin to understand the greater picture of your life. As we move forward, I encourage you to reflect deeply on your childhood, to take the time to examine the experiences, feelings, and moments that have shaped you. Ask yourself, what was I passionate about as a child? What did I dream of? These aren't just childhood memories, they are key clues that unlock your divine purpose. Think about the ways in which you may have felt different or out of place, or how certain interests or dreams came to you at an early age. Could they have been hints of your true calling? Ask yourself, what were the signs I missed? Your childhood is a treasure chest of divine clues. In the hustle and bustle of growing up, you may have lost sight of the deeper meaning of your experiences. But now, with fresh eyes, you can begin to see how everything fits together. The early years are often when your divine purpose is first revealed to you. And as you look back, you may discover that the path you are on today was always meant to be. It was simply waiting for you to recognize it. So take this moment to pause and reflect. Whether you're standing at the beginning of your journey or you've already begun to walk the path of your calling, know that the signs from your childhood are not to be ignored. They are not mere memories. They are divine markers guiding you toward your purpose. It's time to acknowledge the purpose you've carried within you all along and embrace it fully. Reflect on your past trust in the signs and know that you are divinely guided towards something greater. The time to step into your destiny is now. This introduction sets the tone for the rest of the script, offering motivation and guidance while encouraging the audience to reflect on the signs that reveal their divine purpose. The use of personal reflection and divine guidance establishes a connection with the audience and invites them to explore their past with new eyes. As children, we often find ourselves drawn to certain things, not because they are trendy or because they're encouraged by the adults around us, but because they resonate deeply with something inside of us. These early fascinations are rarely random, and they hold within them clues to the divine purpose that we are destined to fulfill. The things we are drawn to in our youth, whether it's a love for art, a fascination with spirituality, a passion for leadership, or a deep empathy for others, are not just passing whims. They are the first whispers of our calling, gently guiding us toward a future that we are often unaware of. Think about it for a moment. What were you fascinated by as a child? What caught your attention in a way that felt different from the typical interests of your peers? Perhaps you were the child who spent hours sketching in the margins of your notebook, lost in the world of colors and shapes. Or maybe you found yourself captivated by the stories of ancient civilizations, dreaming of adventures in distant lands, or leading an army to victory. For others, it might have been an unshakable love for animals or an innate desire to help those around them, even at a young age. These early interests are more than just hobbies, they are divine breadcrumbs dropped along the path that is uniquely yours. They reveal not only what excites your heart, but also what you are meant to bring into the world. You may have felt a certain pull toward art, but what if that fascination was more than just a passing phase? What if it was a divine calling to express beauty, to communicate the unspoken truths of the human experience, and to inspire others through your creativity? Or perhaps you found yourself instinctively drawn to leadership roles in school or in your community, organizing your friends, taking charge, and motivating others, traits that today might hint at a future where you will lead and guide others in ways that go far beyond what you ever imagined. Consider the child who from an early age was drawn to spirituality. Maybe they spent hours reading books about different faiths, meditating on the deeper questions of life, or asking profound questions about the nature of existence. While other children were focused on playing or going on adventures, they were silently contemplating the universe. What if this early fascination with spirituality was not random, but was an indication of a divine purpose? Perhaps this child is meant to be a spiritual leader, a teacher, or a healer, guiding others on their own journeys of discovery and enlightenment. There's an undeniable power in our childhood fascinations. These interests, whether they are in the arts, leadership, spirituality, or helping others, are often far more than mere curiosities. They are the seeds of our greater purpose. It is through these early fascinations that we begin to discover the essence of who we truly are, long before we fully comprehend what we're capable of achieving. The divine has a way of whispering to us through these passions, encouraging us to follow them and trust that they are leading us towards something far greater than we could ever imagine. Let's take a closer look at some specific examples. Perhaps you were a child who couldn't get enough of history. While other children were glued to the latest cartoons or games, you were lost in stories of ancient empires, the rise and fall of kings and queens, the battles that shaped nations. You may have even spent your free time at the library reading about the lives of great leaders, warriors, and philosophers. At the time, it may have seemed like an innocent hobby, but looking back, it's clear that this fascination with history was more than just an interest. It was a glimpse into your future. Maybe you were destined to become a historian, a teacher, or even a writer who would inspire others by sharing the stories of those who came before. You were called to preserve the lessons of the past, to understand the world's struggles, and to pass on that wisdom to future generations. Or perhaps you were the child who naturally stepped into leadership roles. You were the one who organized group projects in school, who rallied your friends to work together, who naturally took charge when a decision needed to be made. Even as a young child, you had a way of motivating others, of drawing out the best in those around you. While your peers might have been content following others, you found yourself in positions of influence, guiding your friends and classmates toward a common goal. At the time, you might have thought this was just the way you were, but in reality, it was a sign of your future calling, a calling to lead, to inspire, and to bring people together for a greater purpose. Then there are those who felt a deep connection with nature or animals. As a child, you may have spent hours exploring the woods, observing the animals around you, or tending to pets with a gentle, loving touch. You may have felt a sense of peace and purpose when surrounded by the natural world, as if you were part of something much larger than yourself. This connection with nature could be the first sign of a calling to protect the environment, to become a conservationist, or to work with animals in a way that supports their welfare and preservation. You are called to care for the earth, to be a steward of its beauty, and to ensure that future generations experience the same wonder and awe that you did as a child. These examples are just a few of the many ways that our childhood interests reveal our divine purpose. Whether it's an obsession with history, a natural inclination for leadership, or a profound connection with nature, these passions are not mere accidents. They are the divine whispers of a purpose that is uniquely yours, waiting to be fulfilled. Sometimes the signs that reveal our divine purpose don't come in the form of clear-cut interests or hobbies. Instead, they manifest as unlikely skills, talents, or abilities that feel out of place, even unique. These talents often appear early in childhood and can be dismissed as mere quirks or oddities. But in reality, these are some of the clearest signs that we are meant to do something far greater than we can imagine. Think of a child who shows extraordinary empathy for others, perhaps more than their peers. While other children may be caught up in their own world, this child is deeply attuned to the feelings of others, often knowing when someone is upset or in need of support. They have a natural ability to comfort those around them, to listen with empathy, and to offer a kind word or gesture when it's most needed. This deep empathy is not just a personality trait. It is a sign of a divine calling to serve others, to heal, and to be a source of light in the lives of those who are hurting. Perhaps this child is destined to be a counselor, a therapist, a social worker, or even a spiritual guide, someone who will spend their life helping others find peace and healing. Another example is the child who exhibits creativity beyond their years. This might be a child who at a very young age is able to create art, music, or writing that goes far beyond what is typical for their age group. They see the world through a unique lens, and their creativity flows effortlessly, as if it's coming from a deeper well within them. This talent is not just a way to pass the time. It is a divine gift, one that will eventually allow them to inspire others, create meaningful change, and express truths that others cannot. This child may be destined to become an artist, a writer, a musician, or a creator of some kind, using their creativity to touch hearts, change minds, and inspire action. Then there is the child who demonstrates a level of maturity beyond their years. This could be a child who, even at a young age, has a deep understanding of complex concepts, a unique ability to problem solve, or a natural knack for organizing and planning. While their peers may still be struggling with basic tasks, this child is already thinking about the bigger picture, making decisions that affect their community or helping others in ways that seem advanced for their age. This maturity is often overlooked or dismissed, but it is a clear sign of divine preparation. This child is not just growing up, they are being prepared for a role that will require wisdom, foresight, and the ability to think critically in high-pressure situations. Whether they are destined to be a leader, a strategist, or a teacher, their early maturity is a key sign of the greater purpose they will one day fulfill. Finally, consider the child who is deeply connected to spiritual matters. This may be a child who from a young age questions the mysteries of life, feels a pull toward the divine, or has a sense of something greater than themselves. They might experience moments of deep intuition, an unexplainable sense of knowing, or a longing for connection with something beyond the physical world. This connection to spirituality is not a coincidence. It is a sign that this child is being called to a higher purpose, one that involves guiding others on their spiritual journey, helping them find meaning and purpose, and connecting them with the divine in ways that will transform lives. These unlikely skills, extraordinary empathy, creativity, maturity, and spiritual connection, are not random gifts. They are the tools that you have been given to fulfill your divine purpose. They are the divine gifts that will allow you to rise to the calling that has been placed on your life. And though they may seem unusual or even out of place at times, they are exactly what you need to fulfill the destiny that is waiting for you. As you reflect on these early fascinations and unlikely skills, take a moment to recognize the signs in your own life. What were you drawn to as a child? What natural talents did you have that felt out of place or unique? These are the clues, the divine breadcrumbs that point toward your higher calling. Embrace them, trust in them, and know that you are being guided toward a purpose that only you can fulfill. Dreams are one of the most powerful, mysterious, and profound aspects of our existence. From childhood, they are often the first places where we encounter the unknown and connect with realms beyond our physical senses. Have you ever had a dream as a child that seemed so vivid, so meaningful, that it stayed with you for years? It wasn't just any ordinary dream. It felt prophetic, like a whisper from the universe showing you a glimpse of something greater, something you were meant to do. These dreams, which may have seemed like fleeting moments of imagination at the time, were not simply figments of your mind. They were divine messages, glimpses into the future that your soul was destined to walk. Throughout history, countless individuals have reported prophetic dreams, particularly during their formative years. Children with their open and receptive hearts often experience dreams that go beyond the ordinary. As they sleep, their spirits are attuned to divine guidance, and the messages they receive can shape their future paths. These dreams are more than just the subconscious mind's way of processing daily events. They are the soul's way of communicating deeper truths, of offering glimpses into the divine purpose that awaits. Take, for example, a child who dreams of standing before a large crowd, speaking with confidence and authority, inspiring others with their words. At the time, this might have seemed like nothing more than a fanciful dream of grandeur. But years later, this child might find themselves standing in front of a crowd, giving a speech that resonates deeply with others. This wasn't a coincidence. It was a dream that foretold their future calling to be a leader, to inspire, to serve others with their voice. Similarly, many children experience vivid dreams that transport them to other places, ancient cities, lush landscapes, or celestial realms. These dreams might not make sense at the time, but they are often signs that the child is spiritually attuned to something greater. The dream may symbolize a deep connection to history, to the natural world, or even to a divine calling that transcends the physical world. These experiences are not simply dreams. They are the soul's way of showing the child their purpose, even when they don't yet have the words to describe it. As we reflect on childhood dreams, we can recognize the patterns and themes that arise. Some children dream of becoming healers, guiding others toward health and well-being. Others see themselves as warriors fighting for justice and truth. Some children have dreams of peaceful landscapes or spiritual encounters, indicating their future roles as spiritual leaders, counselors, or guides. These dreams are not arbitrary. They are a divine language speaking to the child's soul, preparing them for the role they are destined to play in the world. So as you think back on your own childhood dreams, what images or themes come to mind? Were there dreams that seemed to hold more weight than others? Perhaps you dreamed of being a teacher, a leader, or someone who cared for others. Maybe you had visions of healing, of traveling to distant places, or of experiencing profound moments of connection with the divine. These dreams, even if they seemed fleeting or inexplicable at the time, were not random. They were the beginning of the divine blueprint for your life. In many ways, these dreams are like signposts, small glimpses of what's to come, guiding you toward your true calling. They are often the first step in recognizing that you are meant for something greater, something beyond the ordinary. So remember those dreams and embrace them. They are not just echoes of the past. They are the voice of your divine purpose speaking to you across time. In addition to dreams, many children experience encounters with divine beings, angels, spiritual guides, or a higher power. These encounters are often dismissed by adults as imagination, fantasy, or the product of a vivid mind. But for the child experiencing them, they are deeply real and carry profound meaning. From a young age, children are often more connected to the spiritual realm than they realize, and their openness allows them to see and feel things that others cannot. These encounters, while subtle, are not to be ignored. They are divine interventions, moments when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds becomes thin, allowing us to feel the presence of something greater. Imagine a child who, while alone in their room, suddenly feels a warm, comforting presence nearby. They may look up to find no one in the room, yet the sense of peace and love surrounding them is undeniable. For many, these experiences are brushed off as imagination, but for others, these encounters are deeply transformative. They carry with them the unmistakable feeling of being watched over, of being guided by a force greater than themselves. This is the touch of divine protection, a reminder that the child is not alone and that they are part of a larger plan. There are also children who report encounters with angels or spiritual beings. These beings may appear in dreams as flashes of light or in moments of deep contemplation. Sometimes these beings offer guidance, sharing words of wisdom or reassurance. Other times, they simply offer their presence, a silent, and powerful reminder that the child is being watched over and guided toward their purpose. Consider the child who feels the presence of an angel after a traumatic experience or a moment of fear. The angel may not say anything, but simply be there offering comfort and protection. This experience is not a random event. It is divine intervention, a sign that the child is being watched over and prepared for something greater. The angelic presence is a reminder that the child has a divine purpose, one that will unfold in its own time. Many people who have had such experiences as children often carry them with them throughout their lives. These encounters with divine beings are not just fleeting moments of comfort, they are powerful reminders of the child's connection to the divine, to a greater purpose that they are meant to fulfill. As these individuals grow older, the memories of these encounters often become touchstones, guiding them through challenging moments and reminding them of the divine support that is always there. If you look back on your own childhood, did you ever feel the presence of something greater than yourself? Perhaps it was a fleeting moment, a sudden sense of peace, a feeling of being guided, or a knowing that you were not alone. These moments, while subtle, were signs of divine intervention. They were reminders that you are part of something much larger and that your life has a higher purpose. Trust in these experiences, even if they are hard to explain. They are part of the divine story that has been unfolding for you since childhood. Finally, let's talk about synchronicities, the seemingly random coincidences that in reality are anything but random. Synchronicities are divine signposts, moments when the universe aligns in such a way that it feels as if everything is falling into place. These events can often be dismissed as mere chance, but for those who are paying attention, they are powerful signs of divine intervention. As children, we may not fully understand the significance of these synchronicities, but we feel their impact nonetheless. Perhaps you were thinking about a particular person and they suddenly called or showed up in your life. Or maybe you were considering a major decision and out of nowhere, a book or a conversation seemed to offer the exact guidance you needed. These moments, though they may seem like coincidences, are actually the universe's way of guiding you, aligning your path with your greater purpose. For a child, synchronicities might take the form of seemingly coincidental meetings or events that feel too perfect to be chance. A child might meet someone who shares their interests or who introduces them to a new passion, and that meeting sets the stage for something greater down the road. These synchronicities are more than just happenstance. They are divine interventions, small nudges from the universe steering the child toward their higher calling. Synchronicities can also occur when a child encounters a symbol, a sign, or a message that seems to appear repeatedly in their life. Perhaps they see a particular symbol, a bird, a specific animal, or a word showing up everywhere they go. This could be a sign from the divine, a message that speaks directly to their heart. The repetition of these symbols is not a coincidence. It is the universe's way of guiding them, telling them that they are on the right path and that they should continue to trust in the process. As you reflect on your own childhood, think back to the moments when you experienced synchronicities. Did you ever experience a seemingly random event that felt like it was meant to be? Perhaps a chance encounter led to a lifelong friendship, or a sudden opportunity opened up that seemed too perfect to be mere coincidence. These moments are not accidents, they are the universe aligning to guide you toward your purpose. Synchronicities are divine breadcrumbs placed along your path, to help you navigate your way forward. They are signs that you are on the right track, that your path is being illuminated, and that you are being divinely guided toward the fulfillment of your purpose. In summary, the experiences you had as a child, your dreams, your encounters with divine beings, and the synchronicities you experienced were not random. They were divine markers placed along your path to guide you toward your higher calling. Whether you encountered angels, had prophetic dreams, or experienced seemingly random coincidences, these events were signs of divine intervention. They were part of the divine story that is unfolding in your life, a story that is leading you toward your greater purpose. So, as you reflect on your childhood, embrace the dreams, the encounters, and the synchronicities that shaped your path. Trust that these signs were not just fleeting moments, they were divine nudges guiding you toward your higher calling. And remember, you are not alone. The universe has been with you all along, whispering the messages you need to hear and guiding you toward the life you were always meant to live. Life as we know isn't always smooth sailing. From the moment we come into this world, we face trials, struggles, and hardships that challenge our strength, resilience, and character. As children, we might not always understand the reasons behind these difficulties, but as we grow older, it becomes clearer that every struggle, no matter how painful, serves a greater purpose. For many, the challenges faced in childhood are not mere obstacles to overcome. They are the divine training grounds where the seeds of resilience, perseverance, and purpose are planted. You see, adversity is not just something that happens to us. It's something that shapes us, refines us, and molds us into who we are meant to become. And for those who are chosen ones, these struggles are often the preparation they need for their divine purpose. In fact, the difficulties faced early in life can be the very things that equip us to fulfill the calling that has been placed on our hearts. It's through these challenges that we develop the inner strength, wisdom, and compassion required to help others to lead, to heal, and to make a difference in the world. Think about the child who grew up in difficult circumstances, perhaps in poverty, in a broken home, or in an environment that was less than nurturing. On the surface, these challenges might seem like setbacks, unfair burdens that no child should have to bear. But in reality, they were opportunities for growth and development. These early struggles serve as the foundation upon which future success is built. It is in the face of adversity that we learn what we're truly made of, and for those who are destined for greatness. These struggles are not obstacles. They are stepping stones that lead to a higher calling. Take, for example, the child who grows up in a family where resources are scarce. They may not have access to the latest toys or the most comfortable home, but they learn to be resourceful, to find creative ways to meet their needs. These early lessons in creativity and resourcefulness can serve them well in adulthood, where they may find themselves leading a team, solving complex problems, or innovating in ways that others cannot. The struggles they faced growing up have equipped them with the skills they need to succeed, not just for their own benefit, but for the benefit of those they will serve. Likewise, a child who faces emotional hardship, perhaps due to a loss, a traumatic experience, or strained family dynamics, may develop a profound sense of empathy, understanding, and emotional intelligence. While others may see their struggles as a hindrance, the chosen one understands that these challenges were not meant to break them, but to build them. It is through these hardships that they develop the strength to help others heal, to offer comfort to those in need, and to provide the kind of support that only someone who has walked through the fire themselves can offer. Adversity in this sense becomes a crucible, a place where the raw materials of character, resilience, and strength are forged. And just as gold is refined in the fire, so too are chosen ones shaped and prepared for their divine purpose. They may not understand it at the time, but their early struggles are a sign that they are being prepared for something greater. The challenges they face now are laying the groundwork for the lives they will touch in the future. Think about some of the most inspiring individuals throughout history. Many of them faced incredible adversity in their early lives. And yet, rather than allowing these hardships to define them in a negative way, they used them as fuel for their passion for their mission and for their divine purpose. These early challenges became the very thing that propelled them forward into greatness. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. She grew up in poverty, enduring physical and emotional abuse, and facing many hardships that could have easily led her down a dark path. Yet instead of succumbing to the difficulties of her childhood, Oprah emerged as a powerful force for change, using her voice to empower others and to shine a light on the struggles that many people face. Her childhood adversities, rather than breaking her, strengthened her resolve to make a difference in the world. Today, Oprah's purpose is clear: to help others heal, to inspire them to live their best lives, and to use her platform to create positive change. Her childhood struggles were not a curse, they were a divine preparation for the powerful mission she would one day fulfill. Similarly, consider the story of Maya Angelou, who experienced significant trauma and hardship in her early years, including being sexually abused and later sent to live with her grandmother. These experiences could have defined her life in a negative way, but instead they shaped her into one of the most revered writers, poets, and civil rights activists of all time. Her early struggles fueled her writing, her empathy, and her ability to understand the deep pain of others. It was through these struggles that Maya Angelou developed the resilience and the voice that would allow her to touch millions of lives. Another powerful example is Nelson Mandela. Born into a village in South Africa, Mandela grew up in a time of systemic racial injustice. He experienced firsthand the crushing weight of apartheid, and as a young man, he was faced with the challenge of navigating a society that sought to suppress his people. His early struggles, his time spent in prison, his fight against injustice, and his eventual triumph as South Africa's first Black president were all products of the adversity he faced in his youth. But it was through these struggles that Mandela found his true purpose: to lead his people toward freedom, unity, and reconciliation. His early hardships were not setbacks. They were the divine training that equipped him for the incredible leadership role he would play on the global stage. In each of these cases, adversity didn't stop these individuals, it propelled them. The challenges they faced were not merely obstacles, they were the fire that shaped their strength, the storm that forged their resilience. And as a result, they were able to step into their divine purpose with unwavering determination. They understood that the very things that sought to break them were the things that ultimately made them stronger, more compassionate, and more focused on their mission to serve others. The stories of Oprah, Maya Angelou, and Nelson Mandela are powerful reminders that the struggles we face in childhood are not in vain. They are not signs of defeat or failure. In fact, they are the opposite. The strength that we develop through these challenges is not only a sign of our resilience, it is a sign that we are being prepared for a greater purpose. It's important to understand that strength does not come from a life free of hardship. Strength is born in the crucible of adversity. It is when we face the hardest challenges that we discover who we truly are and what we are truly capable of. These challenges don't just build our character, they reveal it. They show us the depth of our courage, the extent of our compassion, and the strength of our resolve. Consider the chosen one who has faced a difficult childhood and felt that the world was stacked against them. Maybe they grew up in an unstable environment, faced personal loss, or struggled with physical or mental health issues. At the time, it may have seemed like there was no way out, no light at the end of the tunnel. But now looking back, they can see how these struggles shaped their life in ways they could never have predicted. Perhaps this individual went on to become a mentor or a counselor, helping others who faced the same struggles they did. Maybe they found their calling in the field of mental health, using their own experiences to guide others through their own pain. Or perhaps they became an advocate for those who are marginalized, using their strength and resilience to fight for justice and equality. Whatever the case may be, their struggles became the fuel for their purpose. The very challenges that once seemed insurmountable became the foundation of their mission to serve others. Many times, the chosen one will feel the weight of their struggles deeply. It may seem impossible to push forward, but it is during these moments when everything feels heavy and the road ahead seems unclear that divine strength begins to emerge. These are the moments when a person discovers that they have the power to endure, to rise above, and to become something greater than they ever imagined. The divine purpose that lies ahead is not without its struggles, but the strength gained through these trials is what prepares the chosen one for the challenges they will face in fulfilling their purpose. Every hardship is a lesson in resilience, every struggle a reminder of the power that lies within. It is through these challenges that we are made strong, and it is this strength that will ultimately allow us to fulfill our divine calling. There are countless stories of people who faced tremendous adversity as children and later discovered that their life's purpose was to help others who had faced similar challenges. These individuals were not only able to rise above their own struggles, they were called to use their experiences to guide others through their own pain and suffering. One powerful example is the story of Richard Gere, the actor and philanthropist. While he is best known for his roles in films like Pretty Woman and Chicago, Richard Gere's childhood was marked by emotional turmoil. He came from a family where love was hard to come by, and he struggled with feelings of loneliness and rejection. These early struggles shaped his character and instilled in him a deep empathy for others who felt marginalized or unheard. As an adult, Gere became deeply involved in humanitarian work, particularly in advocating for the Tibetan people and for human rights. His childhood struggles gave him a sense of purpose, a calling to help others who were suffering and in need of a voice. Similarly, consider Malala Yousafzai, the young Pakistani girl who was shot by the Taliban for advocating for girls' education. Malala's early life was filled with adversity, growing up in a region where women were denied basic rights, where violence was a daily reality, and where her voice was stifled. Yet these struggles didn't break her. They fueled her passion for education and human rights. After surviving the attack, Malala became the youngest ever Nobel Prize laureate, using her platform to fight for the rights of girls around the world. Her childhood adversity was not a burden, it was the training ground for the powerful advocate she would become. These stories of Richard Gere, Malala Yousafzai, and countless others serve as powerful reminders that the struggles we face as children are not wasted. They are not just obstacles to overcome. They are part of the divine preparation for the calling we are meant to fulfill. And often that calling is not just about personal success. It is about using our own experiences to help others rise above their struggles, to guide them toward healing, and to empower them to step into their own purpose. In summary, the struggles we face as children are not signs of defeat. They are divine preparation for the path ahead. Adversity shapes us, molds us, and prepares us for a greater purpose. The strength we gain from overcoming our childhood challenges is the very strength that will help us fulfill our divine calling. And as we move forward, we are not alone. Our struggles are part of a greater plan, and they have equipped us to help others who are facing the same challenges. The path may be difficult, but it is also filled with purpose, and every struggle is a stepping stone toward fulfilling our higher calling. There is a unique and often overlooked quality in children that transcends the ordinary, a profound wisdom, a deeper understanding of life that seems to defy their age and experience. This wisdom is not something that can be taught through books or structured lessons. It is an innate knowing that flows from within. Some children, from the moment they are born, possess a remarkable ability to see beyond the surface, to understand the complexities of human emotions, and to offer insights that often seem well beyond their years. They have an intuitive grasp of life's truths, and this wisdom serves as a guiding light for those around them. This early wisdom is not just about intelligence in the conventional sense, but about an emotional and spiritual understanding that allows children to navigate the world in a way that others might not be able to. It's as though these children are tuned into a higher frequency, sensing what is true and right in a way that others cannot. This kind of wisdom often manifests in ways that are subtle yet deeply impactful. For example, think of the child who seems to have an uncanny ability to comfort others, even in situations where adults might struggle to find the right words. Perhaps there's a child in your life who can tell when someone is upset or worried, even when they haven't said a word. This child, without being told, might walk over to the person in distress, offer a hug, or simply sit in silence beside them. What is remarkable about this behavior is not just the empathy involved, but the intuitive recognition of what is needed in that moment, a silent, unspoken understanding of how to bring comfort, healing, and peace. There are also children who, at a young age, can offer profound insights about life that leave adults in awe. These insights might be about love, forgiveness, or the nature of the human experience. For instance, a child might say something as simple as, "It's okay to be sad sometimes," or "We don't need to always be happy to be okay." These words might seem like simple observations, but for a child to have such a deep understanding of emotional complexity is extraordinary. It's as though their soul knows something their years have not yet fully experienced, a kind of wisdom that comes from the heart rather than the mind. A perfect example of this is the well-known story of Mahatma Gandhi, who as a child exhibited remarkable insights into human behavior and justice. Gandhi's early life was filled with questions and deep contemplation. Even as a young boy, He questioned the social norms and injustice he saw around him. His natural wisdom led him to stand up for truth, even when it was not the popular or easy thing to do. It was this deep, intuitive understanding of right and wrong, of justice and compassion, that would later define his life and his leadership in the fight for India's independence. Similarly, consider the child who, without being told, recognizes the pain in a friend's heart and instinctively knows how to offer comfort. This child might say the right thing at the right time, or they might simply hold space for their friend without any words at all. It's an intuitive wisdom that comes from a place of deep empathy and understanding. These children are not just responding to the external world, they are connected to something greater, something that speaks to them through their hearts, guiding them toward the right actions and responses. What is even more extraordinary about this wisdom is how effortlessly it seems to come to these children. They don't need to be taught how to comfort, how to listen, or how to understand complex emotional dynamics. They just know. This is the essence of intuitive wisdom. It's not learned through books or instructions, but it flows from within, from a place deep inside the soul, a place that connects us to the greater whole of life. This innate wisdom is not confined to a select few. It exists within every child, waiting to be nurtured and encouraged. But for some children, this wisdom shines more brightly than others. They are the ones who seem to grasp the nuances of human interaction, the subtleties of life's mysteries, and the unspoken truths of the world around them. They understand things that many adults may have forgotten or overlooked. And this wisdom, though quiet and often understated, is a divine gift that will guide them toward their greater purpose. The examples of children displaying profound wisdom and emotional understanding are many. Throughout history, there have been stories of children who, without formal training or education, demonstrated an incredible depth of understanding that left adults speechless. These children were not born into extraordinary circumstances. They simply possessed an innate wisdom that allowed them to navigate the complexities of life with ease. One such example is Anne Frank, the young Jewish girl whose diary, The Diary of a Young Girl, became a powerful account of life during the Holocaust. Despite being a child, Anne Frank showed an exceptional understanding of the human spirit and the complexities of life. Even in the face of unimaginable adversity, she exhibited a depth of compassion, resilience, and wisdom that inspired millions around the world. Her writing revealed her ability to observe the intricacies of human behavior, the conflicts within herself, and the larger issues of morality, justice, and survival. She had an extraordinary ability to reflect on her own emotions and the world around her, offering profound insights that even adults could learn from. In more everyday situations, many children exhibit a natural understanding of complex emotional dynamics. Think of the child who, in the midst of a family argument, offers a simple yet profound statement, "Can't we just talk about it?" While the adults may be caught in their emotions, this child, with their fresh perspective, sees the situation clearly. They understand that communication, compassion, and connection are the keys to resolving conflict. Their words are often simple, but their wisdom is powerful. There are also children who exhibit an extraordinary capacity for compassion. For example, a child who is always looking out for others, whether they are helping a friend who is feeling down or standing up for someone who is being bullied, shows a deep understanding of empathy and human connection. This child is not doing these things because they were told to or because it is expected of them. They are doing it because they innately understand the importance of kindness, of standing by those who are suffering, and of offering support when it is most needed. Consider the story of Malala Yousafzai once again. From a young age, Malala exhibited an exceptional understanding of justice and equality. Despite the danger she faced in her homeland of Pakistan, she spoke out for the rights of girls to receive an education. Her words, filled with wisdom and conviction, changed the course of her life and the lives of countless others. Even as a child, Malala recognized the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of extreme adversity. Her wisdom went beyond her years, and it was this wisdom that ultimately allowed her to fulfill her greater purpose of advocating for girls' education worldwide. What is remarkable about these children is not just their ability to understand complex emotional dynamics, but their ability to act on that understanding. They don't just see the truth, they embody it. They act with wisdom, compassion, and insight, and they do so effortlessly. They are living examples of how intuitive wisdom can guide us through life's challenges and help us make decisions that lead us toward our greater purpose. For some children, their wisdom goes beyond understanding the emotional currents of those around them. It is an intuitive knowing that guides their decisions, their actions, and their life choices. This inner guidance often seems to come from nowhere, as though the child is being led by something greater than themselves. They act with a confidence that is often unshakable, trusting in their instincts and inner wisdom, even when others may question or doubt them. Consider a child who, without any formal training or guidance, begins to take steps toward a goal or vision that seems too large or too complex for their age. Perhaps they decide to start a small business or take on a leadership role in their community. From the outside, it may seem like a risky or unrealistic decision, but for the child, it feels like the natural next step. They feel guided by an inner knowing that leads them toward their destiny. This is the essence of strong, intuitive guidance, the ability to trust in oneself, in one's inner wisdom, and in the divine purpose that is being revealed through their actions. One of the most famous examples of a child following their intuitive guidance is Albert Einstein. As a child, Einstein exhibited a remarkable ability to think deeply and intuitively about the world around him. He often pursued questions and ideas that seemed unorthodox or far beyond the understanding of his peers. He trusted his own inner wisdom, even when it led him down paths that others thought were impossible. It was this deep, intuitive guidance that ultimately led to his groundbreaking discoveries in the field of physics, including the theory of relativity. Similarly, there are countless children who exhibit a strong intuitive sense of direction in their lives. Whether it's a desire to help others, a passion for healing, or a drive to make a difference in the world. These children often act with a sense of purpose that is not influenced by external expectations, but by an inner knowing of what they are meant to do. They have an unshakable trust in their instincts, and they follow their inner guidance even when the path is uncertain or unclear. This kind of intuitive guidance is not limited to those who grow up to be famous figures. It can be seen in the everyday lives of children who trust their instincts and make choices that align with their greater purpose. It might manifest as a child who knows deep within their soul that they are meant to be a healer or a leader. It might show up as a child who is drawn to service work, helping others without any expectation of recognition or reward. It is the voice of the divine speaking through them, guiding them toward their true calling. As you look back on your own life, consider the moments when you felt deeply guided by an inner knowing. Were there times when you followed your instincts even when the path seemed unclear and later realized that you were being led to exactly where you needed to be? These moments of intuitive guidance are not coincidences. They are signs that you are aligned with your greater purpose, that you are being guided by a force greater than yourself. In conclusion, the wisdom that children possess, their emotional insight, their deep compassion, and their strong intuitive guidance is not accidental. It is part of a greater plan, a divine preparation for the purpose they are meant to fulfill. From a young age, many children are connected to a deeper knowing, a wisdom that transcends their years and guides their path. Whether it's through offering comfort to others, exhibiting deep emotional understanding, or following their intuition, these children are living examples of how divine guidance can shape our lives. These early signs are not random. They are divine markers placed along the path to help guide us toward our higher calling. So, as you reflect on your own life, consider the moments when you trusted your inner wisdom, when you followed your intuition, and when you exhibited a deeper understanding of life. These moments are the building blocks of your greater purpose, the divine whispers that guide you toward your destiny. Remember, you were never alone on your journey. The wisdom you possess, the intuitive guidance that you feel is all part of the divine plan that is unfolding in your life. Embrace it, trust it, and know that you are being led to fulfill your true purpose. As we come to the end of this journey through your childhood experiences, dreams, and challenges, it's essential to take a step back and reflect on one powerful truth. None of it was by accident. Every moment of your childhood, every experience from your dreams to your struggles, from your early passions to your intuitive wisdom, was part of a divine design that was shaping you, preparing you for the purpose you are called to fulfill. The signs that appeared throughout your childhood, the things you were drawn to, the challenges you faced, and even the seemingly random events, they were all part of a divine plan. These were not mere coincidences or random occurrences. The universe was speaking to you long before you were fully aware of it. Your dreams, your intuition, your natural gifts, and even the adversities you faced were all pieces of a divine puzzle carefully placed to guide you toward your higher purpose. From a young age, you were given glimpses of your purpose. Those dreams you had, those experiences of spiritual connection, and those intuitive moments of wisdom were not just figments of imagination. They were divine whispers quietly guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. These signs, no matter how subtle or small they seemed at the time, were part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan that has been unfolding throughout your life. It's easy to dismiss the past, especially when looking at it through the lens of adulthood. But as we now know, everything that happened in your childhood, every passion, every challenge, and every connection was designed to shape you into the person you are today and to prepare you for the life you are meant to lead. This is the divine purpose at work, and it has always been guiding you even when you couldn't see it. The truth is, your purpose was written in the stars long before you took your first steps. The divine plan for your life began before you were born, and your childhood was just the beginning of your journey. You may have faced doubts, challenges, or confusion along the way, but that was all part of the process. Your childhood was the foundation, the preparation, the divine training that equipped you for what is yet to come. Now, as you stand at the threshold of your purpose, I invite you to look back on those early years with fresh eyes to see the beauty, the guidance, and the divine plan that was unfolding all along. Every experience you had as a child was leading you here to this very moment when you are ready to embrace your true calling. Trust that these signs were not random. They were the divine fingerprints on your soul placed there to guide you toward the higher purpose that awaits. And as you move forward, carry these signs with you, for they are a reminder that you are not walking this path alone. You are being divinely guided toward the life you were always meant to live. As you stand at this pivotal moment, ready to step into the fullness of your divine purpose, I want to encourage you to embrace it with confidence and faith. The journey ahead may not always be easy, but it is one that is uniquely yours. You were chosen for this path, and everything you need, all the wisdom, strength, and guidance has already been placed within you. Sometimes it's easy to doubt ourselves. We question our worth, our abilities, and whether we are truly capable of fulfilling the calling we feel deep in our hearts. But I urge you to silence those doubts and step forward with unwavering faith. You are not here by accident. You were created for this moment, and you have everything within you to fulfill the purpose that is yours to claim. As you reflect on your past and the divine signs that have led you here, remember that your journey is part of a greater plan, one that is unfolding perfectly even when you don't fully understand it. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust that the challenges you've faced, the experiences you've had, and the wisdom you've gained are all part of the divine preparation that has equipped you for this moment. There may be moments of fear or uncertainty, but in those moments, remind yourself that you are divinely supported. The universe, your spiritual guides, and your higher self are all guiding you toward your purpose, and you are never alone on this journey. You are part of something much larger than yourself, a divine plan that is unfolding exactly as it should. Your purpose is not something to fear. It is something to embrace with excitement, knowing that you are stepping into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Your path will be one of growth, transformation, and service, but it will also be a path of joy, fulfillment, and peace as you align yourself with the divine plan that has been unfolding since your earliest days. So step forward with confidence, knowing that you are ready. The challenges you've faced have prepared you for this moment, and the wisdom you've gained has equipped you to walk this path with grace and strength. Trust in yourself. Trust in the divine guidance that has been with you all along, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. You are more than capable of fulfilling your divine purpose, and the world needs you to step into it fully. There is no one else who can fulfill this purpose but you. You were chosen, and now it's time to embrace your calling with confidence, knowing that you are divinely supported at every step. As we come to the end of this reflection, I invite you to close your eyes and join me in a prayer or affirmation, a declaration of readiness, faith, and trust in the divine purpose that awaits you. This prayer is a reminder that you are not walking this journey alone, that the divine is with you, guiding you every step of the way. Heavenly Father, I come before you with a heart full of gratitude for the divine guidance that has been with me throughout my life. I thank you for the signs, the dreams, and the wisdom that you placed within me from the very beginning. I acknowledge that every challenge, every struggle, and every experience has been part of your divine plan to shape me into the person I am today. I trust that the path you have laid out for me is one of purpose, and I embrace it with faith and confidence. Lord, I ask for your continued guidance as I step into the fullness of my purpose. Help me to walk in alignment with your will, trusting that you are with me at every step. Give me the strength to overcome any doubts or fears and fill my heart with the courage to embrace the calling you have placed within me. I know that I am not alone on this journey. You are always with me, guiding me toward the life I was meant to live. I declare my readiness to embrace my divine purpose with joy and gratitude. I trust in your perfect timing, and I know that I am divinely supported every step of the way. I open my heart to the wisdom you have given me and to the divine plan that is unfolding in my life. Thank you for choosing me, for guiding me, and for filling me with the strength to fulfill my calling. Amen. I am ready to step into my divine purpose. I trust in the signs that have guided me. I embrace my journey with confidence and faith. I am divinely supported in all that I do. I am equipped with everything I need to fulfill my purpose. I trust in the divine plan unfolding in my life. I walk forward with joy, knowing that I am exactly where I need to be. I am ready to serve, to lead, and to fulfill my higher calling. I trust in God's timing, and I am confident that my purpose will be fulfilled. As you hold these words close to your heart, know that they are not just empty affirmations. They are powerful declarations that align your spirit with the divine purpose that awaits you. The universe is ready for you to step into your calling, and so are you. Trust that the path ahead is one of divine fulfillment and that you are fully equipped to walk it with strength, wisdom, and grace. This is your time. Embrace it fully, knowing that you are part of a greater plan, a plan that is unfolding perfectly, just as it was always meant to. Step forward with faith and know that the divine is with you, guiding you every step of the way. You are ready.